You can live for years as if mornings are an inheritance, as if your body is a permanent address, as if time belongs to you. Then the script breaks. A message, a diagnosis, a silence at the other end of a familiar voice. Everything feels fragile. Nothing obeys the old certainty. The world hasn't changed. Your eyes have. You are dying, not in panic, in precision. Every heartbeat is subtraction. Avoidance is expensive. What you refuse to face ends up owning you. Death gives life a frame. Without an ending, nothing carries weight. An infinite story can't matter. So when the end steps forward, fear rises. Right beside fear, clarity arrives. Clarity is mercy. You suddenly know which conversations matter, which apologies want a voice, which objects are just noise pretending to be comfort. The first half of life stretches outward. Identity, achievement, belonging. The second half turns inward. Meaning, reconciliation, allegiance to the self. The hinge isn't a birthday. It can be a hospital wristband, a funeral, a Tuesday mirror telling the truth. At the hinge, you ask better questions. What is worth the time I have? What will still hold me when the lights go out? Who am I when applause would echo in an empty room? This is not morbidity. It's accuracy. Death trims the excess until your real life comes into view. A son promised his father a road trip. He kept postponing. One winter, the calendar made a new sound. He flew home, held a paper cup to a shaking hand, heard a simple sentence, "What are you waiting for?" After the funeral, he stopped promising he would live. He started living. Not erratically, precisely. Precision edits. It removes commitments that only impress strangers. It chooses experiences that bear weight. Modern life is built to prevent this encounter. We surround ourselves with sound, with screens, with movement. We call it connection. It is often anesthesia. We stay busy so we don't have to notice how fragmented we are. Use the reminder instead when the thought arrives at night, when the dream of falling wakes you, when time suddenly feels thin. Don't push it away. Listen. The ego wants permanence. The self wants wholeness. Anxiety is the sound of their collision. Let it be a bell. Simple practices. Write 5 names you would want to say goodbye to properly. Call one today. Let the goodbye breathe. Choose one room. Remove 10 objects that carry no meaning. Feel how space returns attention. Carry one sentence for a week. I do not know how much time I have with this. Apply it to a sunrise, a body, a conversation. Let the sentence change your touch. Often fear of death hides fear of unlived life. Under the panic sit postponed choices. Act in small, embodied ways. Watch the fear lower its voice. Not because the end moves, because the day grows dense enough to hold its weight. There is a difference between panic and awe. Both quicken the heart. Only one opens it. Shadow work belongs here. Resentments saved like souvenirs. Apologies rehearsed but never offered. Desires exiled to appear reasonable. Invite them in, assign them work. Resentment becomes a boundary. Apology becomes a visit. Desire becomes a first lesson. Integration is administrative care for the soul. Acceptance tidies. It does for time what cleaning does for space. You can finally see the floor. You can finally place the chair. From that clarity, generosity becomes possible. You forgive faster. You help without theater. You say thank you out loud. Facing death restores wonder. Children live in astonishment because they haven't learned to pretend permanence. Adults can borrow that astonishment by remembering the lease on everything. Look at your hands, a tool and a miracle. Look at the person who knows your coffee order, two brief lives overlapping long enough to matter. Look at the night sky from a grocery store lot. Vastness stops being a threat when you stop asking it to make you safe. It becomes an invitation to belong while you're here. When fear returns, draw a small circle on a page. Place inside it one thing you love that you can touch today. Place another tomorrow. In a week, you will have proof that life continues in the middle of endings. You don't need to make peace with death forever. Make peace with one moment at a time. The glass on the counter, the voice in the next room, the ache in the chest that means the heart is still practicing its art. Availability is the beginning of wisdom and the end of postponement. Speak in sentences that don't waste themselves. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. Please stay. Go in peace. Death is not interruption. It is completion. The tree does not accuse autumn of betrayal. It drops what it cannot carry, and in dropping, it feeds its future. Let mortality carve rather than crush. Let it shape you into someone who can hold more reality without breaking. Because you are dying. So is everyone you love. So is everything you touch. And precisely because of that, this cup of tea is astonishing. This conversation matters. This apology cannot wait. This sky cannot be scrolled past. This day is not a hallway to hurry through. It is a room to inhabit with your full weight. If there is a secret to depth, it lives here. Look at the end. Let it recalibrate the middle. Live from the center while the edges move. Keep your heart open to endings. Discover that love is not smaller. It is finally the right size. Facing death does not take life away. It gives life back. Not the life imagined at a safe distance. The life you can feel with your hands. The life where you say the real sentence when it needs to be said. And stand at the doorway at dusk and whisper, "Thank you." You faced the thought. Now you have to live with it. Not as terror, as orientation. Part 2 is practice. Not theory. Not heroics. Just honest days that can carry the weight of endings. Start with the body. The body is the present tense. Breathe before you speak. Feel your feet when panic rises. Put a hand on a table. Name 5 things you can see. Return to the room you are in. A nervous system that can return is a nervous system that can love. Make a morning vow. Today, I meet what is real. Not what is trending. Not what is urgent. What is real. Carry one small ritual. Light a candle at the sink before dishes. Touch the doorframe when you arrive home. Whisper thank you before sleep. Ritual makes memory in the body. Memory becomes steadiness. Edit your calendar. Grief hates clutter. Remove one obligation that is performance. Add one act that is contact. Call someone who matters. Take a slow walk without headphones. Look, then look again. Eat with both hands on the table. Drink water like it is medicine. Because it is. Name the 3 conversations you are avoiding. Pick the gentlest one. Have it this week. Speak simply. No speeches. Ask for a response. Listen without defending. Silence after truth is a kind of prayer. Make a goodbye list. Not morbid, responsible. 5 people, 5 letters. Begin 1. Write 1 sentence that would be enough. Seal it. You do not have to send it. The act still changes you. Create a memento mori day once a year. No screens, long walk. A letter to yourself that begins, if this were my last year, what needs attention now? Answer with verbs, not slogans. Practice 1 generous boundary. Say no without apology. Say yes without self-erasure. Mortality gives you permission to be specific. Use it. Inventory the room you sleep in. Remove 10 objects with no meaning. Space returns attention. Attention returns gratitude. Gratitude returns presence. Make a grief shelf. 1 photo, 1 object with a story, 1 short note in your handwriting. Grief does not vanish when honored. It becomes bearable when seen. Learn the difference between fear and forewarning. Fear is loud and vague. Forewarning is quiet and specific. If it is loud and vague, breathe. If it is quiet and specific, listen. Act gently. Name the pattern you run when you are scared. Do you overwork? Do you isolate? Do you shop? Do you scroll? Pick 1 interruption. A glass of water. A walk around the block. A 3-minute timer to feel the feeling without a story. Repeat. Do not argue with the clock. Budget time, like you budget money. Give it to what you value, not to what flatters you, not to what numbs you. Choose a craft. Hands teach the mind to stay. Cook, garden, woodwork, knit, play an instrument badly. Let imperfection be proof of in-progress love. Talk about death with someone you trust. Use small, plain words. Ask what they fear. Say what you fear. Share 1 hope. End the conversation with a plan to live better this week. Plans make courage usable. Keep a short list titled While I Am Here. 5 lines. Update monthly. Small and concrete. Hold a baby. Help a neighbor. Watch the sunrise from the same hill twice. Leave a kind note where no one can repay you. Practice ordinary reverence. Brush your teeth like you intend to keep them. Fold a shirt like you are returning it to a friend. Place your shoes as a courtesy to tomorrow. When panic arrives at 2 a.m., do not negotiate with it. Sit up. Feet on the floor. Name the fear aloud. Say this too is part of being alive. Breathe into the lowest part of the belly. Count 8 in. Hold 2. Count 8 out. Repeat until the mind is willing to be held. Create a language for help. Teach 3 people what to say when you say, I'm not okay. Examples. Can you sit with me for 10 minutes? Can you call me tomorrow at 9? Can you help me choose the next right task? Specifics make help possible. Beware these traps. Toxic positivity. It denies reality and starves depth. Catastrophizing. It turns every cloud into the end of the world. Nihilism. It mistakes exhaustion for insight. The antidotes are simple. Name the fact. Name the feeling. Name the next action. Facts ground. Feelings move. Actions integrate. Do not make grief a brand. Do not post your pain for applause. Let a few things be true without witnesses. Private reverence is how meaning grows roots. Practice clean gratitude, not a list to impress your future self. A pause that says, I see this coffee, this hand, this roof, this laugh. Gratitude is a way of paying attention on purpose. If you pray, pray simply. Thank you. Help. I am listening. If you do not pray, you can still listen. Silence is a language you already know. Hold the people you love by learning how they like to be held. Ask them. Ask again. People change. So do their needs. Love updates itself, or it calcifies. Apologize faster. Explain less. Repair without performance. Mortality makes tenderness urgent. Let it. When you are with someone who is dying, do not try to be interesting. Be present. Let the room be slow. Ask if they want silence or stories. Ask if they want touch or distance. Follow their pace, not your fear. Write a living will. Name an emergency contact. Give someone your passwords. This is love, too. Love that protects on the worst day. Create a memory while you are still here. Plan a small ritual that says this is who we were and this is how we cared. A song, a recipe, a place you return to once a year. Meaning accumulates through repetition. Learn to read synchronicity softly, not as proof, as participation. When inner and outer rhyme, bow a little. Then continue the work in front of you. Ask better nightly questions. Where was I honest? Where did I hide? Who needed gentleness? I forgot to give. What felt alive? What needs repair tomorrow? Write 2 lines. Sleep closer to yourself. Adopt a phrase for hard moments. Even this, or stay with it, or one thing at a time. Phrases are handles. They help you lift what is heavy without pretending it isn't. Let go of the museum of you. You do not have to keep everything. Photograph the object. Tell its story aloud. Release it with thanks. Space is a vote for what matters now. Make room for play. Yes, play. Mortality is a teacher, not a jailer. Play testifies that life is still happening. 5 minutes is enough. A silly song while washing dishes counts. If you do therapy, bring death into the office. Say the words, I will die. Then ask what would change if I took that seriously. Build one small behavior from the answer. If you are a parent, tell the truth your child can hold. Answer the question asked, not the one you fear. Say, I don't know when you don't. Promise presence, not outcomes. If you are alone, do not confuse solitude with failure. Make companions of books and walks and quiet rooms. Speak to the photo on the shelf. Speak to the sky. Speak to the self that is listening. Practice stewarding your attention. Attention is life. Spend it where life can answer back. Remember this sequence: attention, contact, meaning. Depth grows from the order of these words. Keep a small altar to the ordinary. A stone from a beach. A key from a first apartment. A dried leaf from the street where you decided to forgive someone. Your life is made of small forevers. Collect them as if you mean to remember. Schedule joy. Do not wait for it to appear by accident. Write it down like a duty. Joy teaches the nervous system that life includes more than crisis. When the world is loud, go slow. When the world is dark, light one small thing. When the world is rushing, step aside and let it pass. You are allowed to be a different kind of human. Return to the sentence that started all of this. You are dying. Hold it without flinching. Then add the companion sentence. So live. Live specifically. Live truthfully. Live in sentences that do not waste themselves. Make the call. Take the walk. Write the letter. Say the line you will be glad you said. Let endings be teachers. Let time be a mentor. Let love be the policy. And when the day is finally quiet, place a hand over your chest. Say to the room. Say to the dark. Say to the part of you that is listening, I am here. While I am here, I will live. There is a night when the silence stops, feeling like a threat. It opens like a field. It holds you instead of swallowing you. You did not become fearless. You became honest. Honesty makes room for peace. The fear still visits. It just knocks now. You know how to open the door without letting it move in. You learn to sit, to breathe, to wait until the storm inside finished speaking. And then to answer with one small, true act. This is what acceptance feels like. Not surrender to despair. Participation in reality. You notice small mercies. The glass that doesn't slip. The voice that returns your name with warmth. The light that finds your face in the morning and asks nothing in return. You do fewer things. You do them fully. Depth replaces display. You measure days by contact, not by speed. By presence, not by posts. By love given, not by attention collected. Loneliness changes shape. It becomes solitude with windows open. It becomes a table with one chair that knows how to welcome another. You begin to trust the quiet again. It is not empty. It is fertile. You keep a short list titled, While I'm Here. You cross out verbs with a pen. The ink feels like a promise kept to time. You forgive in real time. You repair while the bridge is still standing. You stop rehearsing goodbyes and start living in hellos that count. You remember the sentence that rearranged you. You are dying. You let it stand beside a second sentence. So live well. Live like a steward, not a collector. Tend what is given. Return what you borrow in better condition. You can look at the sky without asking it to erase your fear. You can hold a hand without asking it to fix your past. You can let love be specific and still be vast. This is maturity, not the absence of pain, the capacity to carry it without letting it poison the well. You make room for joy without permission. Joy is not naive. It is evidence of survival. You schedule small celebrations. The last peach of summer, the first cold evening, a song that knew you before you knew yourself. You keep faith with life in plain ways. You show up on time. You tell the truth kindly. You leave a room a little better than you found it. You practice ordinary reverence. Shoes placed for tomorrow. Dishes washed like a hymn. A lamp turned off as if darkness were a friend. The people you love can feel the difference. Your presence is slower. Your listening has weight. Your touch says, I am here, instead of I am trying. You stop needing to be interesting. You offer attention instead. Attention is a kind of prayer anyone can understand. You learn the weather of your soul. You carry a coat for the cold days. You carry water for the hot ones. You stop blaming the sky for being the sky. Grief finds a shelf in your home. It sits among the living. It does not have to shout to be believed. You become less certain and more steady, less loud and more clear, less defended and more available. When panic returns at 2 a.m., you remember what to do. Feet on the floor. Name the fear. Breathe into the lowest part of the belly. Say out loud, "Even this belongs." Belonging expands, not as a club, as a recognition. We are all temporary. We are all trying. We are all carrying invisible anniversaries. You treat strangers gently. You let someone merge in traffic. You return the cart. You write the compliment you think and do not say. You understand that greatness was never the point. Goodness was. Goodness scales, one room at a time. You place a small altar to the ordinary in your home. A stone from a beach. A receipt from a day that changed you. A leaf that fell into your palm like it had your name on it. You look for it when you forget what matters. You look at it when you are tempted to hurry. You carry phrases for heavy moments. One thing at a time, even this. Stay with it. They are handles. They help you lift without pretending it isn't heavy. You keep a gentle eye on your attention. Attention is life. Spend it where life can answer back. You talk to the dead in the language of tasks. You cook their recipe. You play their song while you sweep. You thank them for the way your hands know what to do. You give your future self small gifts. A clean counter, a filled water bottle, a note folded into tomorrow's pocket that says, "Keep going." Sometimes the fear rises anyway. Let it rise. Then let it pass. You are not a wall for waves to break against. You are the shoreline, learning the rhythm. Your days become a kind of vow. Not to never fall, to always return. Return to breath. Return to truth. Return to the people who make you more yourself. Return to the room you are in. You notice that wonder has returned. It could be the way steam climbs from a cup, or the way a dog rests its entire trust on your foot, or the way dusk turns your street into a story. You stop asking life to be bigger than it is. You let it be exactly this size. You find out it was always enough when you were fully present to it. You do not need a grand purpose to live meaningfully. You need sincerity. Sincerity is the shortest road to depth. So you keep living, specifically, truthfully, with sentences that do not waste themselves. Make the call. Take the walk. Write the letter. Say the line. Be found by your own life. At night, place a hand over your chest. Say, "I am here." Say, "While I am here, I will live." If you pray, add a small word. Thank you. If you do not pray, the breath will answer. It always has. One last scene. A doorway at dusk. The sky is doing its slow work. You stand in the threshold between what has passed and what will come. You feel the impulse to hurry. You don't. You let this be enough. The end is still somewhere ahead. You know that now. You also know the secret it taught you. Facing death does not make life smaller. It makes life honest. Honesty makes life deep. And depth, finally, is peace.